nutritional support. Don't try to do anything too fancy. But we kept planting, and then it reverted. This whole area reverted back to the lush tropical rainforest type situation that it must have been like more than 100 years ago. So we learned that not only is it possible to provide high quality health care, it's actually possible to turn around some of the environmental disaster that all the rest of the area was experiencing. If you look up into the hills, you can see that the mountains very close by are still completely deforested. This is a map of the world by land area. This is a great website, World Mapper. Map of the world by land area. This is the map of the world by population. This is AIDS. Now, there's a really, really important part of this map that you should all pay attention to. If you look at North America and Europe, you still have some cases up there. And what we've learned is that if you have 2 million people with a chronic medical condition for which they have to take a medicine every day, that's more than enough to sustain a robust, market-based approach to providing medicines for that particular disease. So we now have medicines. We've got maybe, somebody's going to know better than I, but from a time in the early 1990s even, when HIV was a universal death sentence, we now probably have close to 30 different medicines, and they keep coming out because there's a group of people who continue to live in first world countries who can afford to pay $15,000, sometimes $20,000 a year, and that's enough of a market to have new drugs. So the task for us was not to generate new drugs or to get people interested in making new drugs like it is for us in tuberculosis, because those North America, South America, Europe disappear when it comes to tuberculosis. It's not a matter of getting people interested in finding money for new drugs. It's a matter of just finding ways to get those drugs to the poor people. It's a different task. You look at malaria, and all of a sudden, all the rich countries disappear. We haven't had a new drug for malaria in a very long time, and the latest new drug is actually a derivative of a Chinese medicine, artemisinin. So we're in trouble with malaria because we're going to get resistant strains of malaria very soon to even artemisinin. And because there's no first world market, we're not going to have new drugs. I don't think, certainly at the number that they have for HIV. So one of the lessons for me is market forces are terribly important. Does anyone know the country in the world who believed in market forces so strongly that they set up their entire healthcare system like that, and then it caused them a huge problem during the SARS epidemic? Anyone know? China. The Chinese completely marketized their healthcare system. When I went there as a high-ranking WHO official, they received me like as if it were a state visit. And I said, why did you do that? And they said, and this is a communist country, we saw market forces working so